you have the consignment business. You just launched not too long ago the grading portion of it. Are there other facets that you're looking at to adding to your empire of Z&G Emporium?
It's tough because, with business and with like, even with content, if you try too many things, you can get really good at something and really build that out, and that can be successful, or, you want to scale it properly. Like with Graded Gem, I learned a lot about business. I really did. The biggest thing I learned was scaling improperly. Because they're great guys over there. I mean, they got like, I don't know, 12 or 15. I don't know how many employees they ended up hiring, but they were just accepting everything. Kind of like PSA was, they were just accepting everything. They were getting 100,000 cards when they could only grade 20,000 a day. They were getting 100. It was like, they just kept doing that forever. Yeah. It's like, you can't do that forever. You either have to shut it off or raise prices. There has to be some kind of balance there. And it really taught me how to, you can't step on the gas immediately. You really can't. Even if you want to grow very quickly, you have to, introduce stuff, see how it goes, build a baseline of like, kind of, okay, here's how much we have, here's how much work. And then you can kind of introduce something else if you do have capacity, or hire somebody else or whatever it is. So, right now we just kind of introduce those and we'll see where it goes. I mean, there's a lot of levers that we haven't pulled. Like, we don't accept sealed product. We don't accept raw. We don't, we just do TCG, which I don't think we'll ever do sports, but that's, that could be, but I don't think we will. There's eBay Vault. We could, be a middleman, charge a few percent, and get people stuff. We don't do buy it nows. We could do buy it now. There's a lot of levers that we haven't pulled, but we've built this kind of auction TCG only platform to where, I like the trajectory and I'm fine with that. And introducing the grading is kind of going to give us a backlog, and I'm just going to kind of see where it goes for there. But I mean, there's a lot of levers that we haven't pulled that we could, but I don't want to pull it. And then all of a sudden, we were just talking about just having a really good service, no matter what you are. If you're watching this and you're just kind of doing whatever it is, you take on too much, like, customer service is going to kind of fail. Right. And then all of a sudden you get bad experiences, and then you go into, I rarely go to Reddit, but I know Cam goes to Reddit, that Pokemon investing subreddit sometimes, and like, he'll see on there, he'll be like, there'll be comments, just random people that say, oh, you should send that to Z&G Emporium auction. Like, this is just like word of mouth stuff that I don't even know who these people are. And that stuff can only be built with a trusted reputation. And if you take on too much, that's just going to fall apart, and then you can't really, pick up the pieces from there.
I need to take that clip and just show it to like every startup that wants to do something in Pokemon, because slow and steady wins the race, man. Like, truly, 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 in the collectibles industry, you can move fast, hop on the trends, flip and make a bunch of money, but you're not going to build a long lasting, trusted brand. Yeah. That's all you're doing. So that's an amazing piece of advice that not only individuals should be taking, but these larger companies. Yeah. I think I've been tied to quite a few of them. So it's,
I think you've walked that line pretty well, actually, yourself, because I know you've built, a brand here, like on, a trustworthy brand, but at the same time, you also did kind of those big splashy, let me go to Dubai and let me do these big, big splashy things. So you kind of got to experience both.
And that was definitely a learning experience that I took from that. Right. I mean, thankfully I did the part. I built a trustworthy brand. I both from a seller, from a community member, relationship guy. So I built that brand that was long lasting, and allowing me to come back and do stuff like this when I take all my inconsistent breaks that I have with content and all that. But yeah, I was able to hop in and do a lot of the flashy, exciting things, sell to celebrities, travel the world, do crazy trades, own crazy cards. And they were incredible experiences, but I knew it then, but obviously looking back now, it just stretched me way too thin, and I was unable to keep up doing what was working with for me, which was the podcast and the consignments that I was doing. I at one point I did over 500,000 in consignments, and I never asked for anything.
Yeah.
So, if I took that route, and started doing what you were doing, I'm sure it would have been successful. But then see what's happening. Now you're not even able to do content because your day is full, and I probably would have reverted back to wanting to do content again. So it definitely, I haven't figured out the exact path I want to take, but I know it's surrounded by this right here. Whatever path I want to take is going to be, the center point is going to be this podcast. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed that clip, be sure to check out the full video podcast right here. And every Thursday, we drop a new podcast that premieres on YouTube here live at 9 p.m. Eastern time. So be sure to subscribe and comment down below which guest you'd like me to have on next.